Well, when it comes to New Year's Eve, everyone has their preferences. Some prefer a quiet, cozy night in. For others, there are big parties or even smaller get-togethers with friends. Alcohol is often involved, and in some cases, a lot of it. Joining us now is Rachel Rabin. She's an associate professor in the Department of Psychiatry at McGill University and also a researcher at the Douglas Mental Health University Institute. Thank you, Rachel, for joining us on this last day of 2025.
Thank you for having me here.
So, we often hear that moderation is key. So why is it that some people tend to drink excessively on New Year's Eve or just over the holidays in general?
Right. So it's a time where people are more social than usual. And when we get together and do more social activities, we find that alcohol is often involved. People can get anxious around social events, and alcohol can help ease a little bit of that stress or anxiety and make people feel more comfortable. Alcohol has just been integrated into our social environment for decades and decades. But maybe with this new generation, Gen Z, we are seeing a slight shift in that.
Yeah, and I did want to pick up on that because we have heard that apparently Gen Z, they're drinking less than previous generations. I don't know if it's just considered less cool or what's behind it. Do you have any ideas about the factors driving this shift?
Yeah, so it's a shift in we're seeing teenagers, people who are born in like the early 2000s. They're drinking less, they're consuming less amounts of alcohol and less frequently, and it seems to be that they're just more health conscious, more wanting to feel good mentally and physically. And we know that alcohol is associated with poor mental health as well as some physical challenges that come with drinking a lot. So we know it's associated with cardiovascular disease, some liver disease. Also, it can make people feel depressed or anxious. And this Gen Z just seems to be more cognizant of those effects and wants to live sort of a healthier lifestyle. It also could be just because of the technology change that some of their social activities are happening online. So that could also be contributing to the change.
Yeah, very interesting. There is also an indication that people, not just Gen Z, but overall across generations, people are drinking less. Earlier this month, in fact, the SAQ reported alcohol sales are down, and it seems to be part of a global trend. And actually, we seem to be seeing a growing popularity of mocktails or, alcohol-free or low alcohol drinks.
Yeah, actually, in 2023, the World Health Organization put out a report, and it said that there is no level of safe alcohol consumption. So it really speaks to the fact that even at your first drop, you're starting to see some of the detrimental effects of alcohol. So Gen Z, with all this information at their fingertips, in previous generations, we knew, perhaps not to drink, but now we also know exactly why, and they're just, burdened with all of that health information at their fingertips.
Having said all that, I'm sure some people are going to say, hey, I just want to have a glass of wine or, raise a toast with a bit of bubbly tonight. Is that so wrong?
I think people should be informed about the health risks and then make their own decisions about what works for them. So moderation is obviously key. And also, it's just important that people keep their levels low. And understand what the consequences of their use is. So it's really heavy, consistent, frequent drinking that can lead to alcohol use disorders. And also, we have to also remember that our judgment and our ability to make risky decisions increases with more alcohol.
Yeah, of course. And on that note, we just want to remind everyone, if you are deciding to indulge tonight, of course, be safe, don't drive. And I know that a lot of people will be jumping on the dry January trend, which means no alcohol for 4 straight weeks. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Thank you, Rachel. We really appreciate your time again and wishing you all the best for 2026. Enjoy your New Year's Eve.
You too. Happy New Year.